Welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again. Many of y'all are gonna recognize this name, 53 Shades Darker. Welcome to the channel, man.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. He's been a member of the Sunshine Shoulders community probably ever since it started.
Right.
Certainly came to my first meet and greet.
Enjoyed it.
We're here in MKA New Town. Now you're living here in MKA New Town.
Yes. Exactly.
You actually bought a unit here.
Yes. Pull the trigger and bought a unit.
How long have you been coming to the Philippines?
I've been coming to the Philippines since 2016.
Wow. So you're like a veteran, brother.
Veteran, yeah. 2016 was my first initial visit based on one of my co-workers out there, my old job. And he invited me out and said, hey, why don't you come out? He's married to a Filipina. And he said, hey, why don't you come out and check it out, see what the hype is all about. So I did. I took him up on, his offer.
Yeah. Because the reason I wanted to interview him, this is a great guy. I mean, he's the real deal. But you went ghost on us, man. And he's got a channel, 53 Shades Darker. And I'm like, man, what happened?
It might look like that I went ghost, but every video, every episode, I'm there. I'm looking and just chiming in. I just been.
No, I mean on your channel.
Oh, on my
you
channel.
Went ghost.
Oh, I'm more into trying to work business things out. I still do things. I got videos coming out. I got some videos that I haven't even edited. I just been real busy with trying to get business things going out here in the Philippines. Actually, some business that's gonna surprise you later.
Now, I know he invited me and Marilyn to his wedding. How long y'all been married?
1 year. April, May, June. A year and 2 months.
Wow. But we wasn't able to come. You know why I didn't come.
I know. And I understand.
Yeah. But anyway, I think Michael Beach Alive made it.
Michael Beach, some who's that come on, what's the guy name? Singer. The singer. Geechee.
Oh, Geechee Line.
Geechee Line was there, and Mary Sell.
Yeah.
A couple people. So yeah, turned out to be good, pretty good.
Yeah, you were one of the first guys who really jumped on this MKA New Town train. You saw something long before everybody else did, including myself, because I said I would never move here. It's too far away. What was it about MKA New Town that sold you like, man, I'm gonna buy and invest in MKA New Town?
Well, it's just like it says, New Town. So it's a new town, just like it says. So I figure, I see the demographics coming in that's moving in, and these people got a certain amount of money. They're putting the money in here, and so I'm thinking, hey, that's potential for growth. So this would be the perfect idea to invest in. It might take some time. It's not going to be right away, but over a period of time, places build up. And as you can see, this place wasn't here a year ago, right here.
Yeah, it's certainly, this whole MKA New Town looks totally different than when I stayed here with a friend in 2022. This clubhouse, the bar, the swimming pool, the beach, none of that was there, but they were talking about it. I didn't see any reason to move here, but I'm sure you're happy now because, man, this place is blew up. There's the Bellmont Hotel, the Savoy. It's so much. The grocery store wasn't here when I was here in 2022. So you're on to something, man.
Hopefully, hopefully everything stays the way it's projected and the way it seems to be going. It's just like a little pit stop area, and it's right close to the airport. The airport is like, I can see it from the balcony, from my balcony. I can see it. So I just see potential growth in the future, and so that's what I'm focused on, and hopefully it does well. Eventually I plan on renting it out, to some of your subscribers and some of mine, at a very, 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 very good price down the line. So I'm not an agent right now, so put that disclaimer out there.
So where are you from over in America?
I'm originally from Los Angeles, but I'm living in Las Vegas, Nevada. So, but born and raised in Los Angeles.
Do you plan on bringing your wife over to America?
Yes, yes, that's in the makings right now. So, she's in school, and the plan is for her to go into nursing, and then go to school over there in Las Vegas, and be, get into the RN program, LVN program, or whatever. And then, we work together. We got some plans that we're gonna do out here also.
Yeah, because he's been coming here since 2016, so you must love the Philippines just as much as I do.
I do.
Okay, but let me finish my thought, because I called you. You probably saw that video I made, right?
I did.
Where I said, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to live in the Philippines full time." It was really just saying that I'm going to spend more time in America. I'm kind of going to go back and forth. It wasn't saying I'm going to leave the Philippines, because you actually live here, what, 6 and 6, right?
6 months on and 6 months off.
So why do you think I got so much pushback on that when I said, hey, I'm going to spend 8 months here in the Philippines and 4 at home, which it could work out to be 9 and 3, 10 and 2, but the point was, I'm not going to stay over here for 6 consecutive years anymore. What's the longest you've ever stayed over here?
11 months at one time.
That's it.
Yeah.
See,
11 months.
But most of the people that was talking crap, they've never even been here before. They've never been away from home anywhere near 6 years without seeing friends, family, familiars, anything, right?
Right.
And they said, "Oh, I'm quitting. I'm giving up," right?
Has nothing to do with that. For one thing, they're not in your head. So, it's your experiences, as well as it's my experience of what reason I leave for 6 months and then come back. Does it cost? Of course it does. However, I have to reset. I call it a reset.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reset for me.
Yeah.
I have, right? I'm 57 years old in July. I have grandkids that I like to see, and they like to see me. You might have the same thing.
Same thing. I was asking you, though, as a person who knows me. You came to my first meet and greet. Mm-hmm. You've been a part of Sunshine Show's community probably since it started. Mm-hmm. These people don't know me. You know me.
Right.
That's why I asked you, they don't know me, do they?
No, they don't.
Am I the same now as I am when I'm not on camera?
The same. You got to get to know a person. People hear all this stuff, and I see all this stuff, mm-hmm. and I remember even telling you, hey, this person is saying something, and you told me, hey, I don't want to hear that. This is just negative stuff, and I understand, how that must feel, because I felt I had to say it, because I want you to know how this negativity that's out there, and people don't even know you. So
yeah,
you got to get to know the person before you, especially you got to get to know them personally, up and close, personal, and talk to them. Talk to a person first before you make judgments of people.
Now, do you and your wife have children?
No.
Do you plan on having any children?
Yes, as many as God's gonna give us.
Now, how long have y'all been knowing each other? Been together, put it like that.
9 years.
Since you came to the Philippines?
Since I came to the Philippines, 2016.
And you just got married a year ago?
It took me 9 years to vet this woman.
Why is that?
I've been married before.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through this kind of stuff before with, and just let it be known, she's not the only Filipina that I've talked to before. I've talked to, and she knows that she's going to be watching this. She watches just like I do. She'd be sitting at the table too. So, I've talked to people before. Mm-hmm. However, when a person meets your criteria and works for you, then you know who you're going to be with. Only you know that. And I don't care how good they look, what their body looks like. When you meet that person, you're gonna know. For me, it takes time.
Yeah.
People come and they meet people after a year, and they all of a sudden get married. some work and some don't. And just based on my experience, I want to make sure that this person is right because I don't want to do all this stuff again.
Yeah, we met a great guy in your lobby. His name is what is his name? Roussel Boudreau.
Really
And
good guy.
He said the same thing, right?
Mhm.
That he had been married before, went all through it before. But he's got a beautiful wife,
Beautiful.
a great guy, right?
Really nice guy. Down to earth.
I gave you a shout out, Roussel Boudreau. You watching?
Really nice guy. Down to earth. He actually came and started talking to us while we were sitting down. Came up, I guess he identified you from the channel, you know. So
Yeah, we talked about 45 minutes.
talked for a long time, and even his wife was joining in on the conversation. But very nice. But to get back to what we were talking about as far as
Vetting.
the
and
vetting,
everything, yeah.
for me personally, it took me some time, and I put her through the gamut. You know, the ringer. I'm talking about putting money down on the side, credit cards, leaving money in my
But
laundry.
how do you deal with the jealousy though? Because this is what a lot of guys don't really know. The jealousy. You know, y'all been together 9 years.
9 years.
It's still there, right?
It's honestly, I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. Hell yes, they can be jealous, but it's a cultural thing. From what I'm seeing, no matter what you do, you can have the ring, you can have the house, the car, the dog, and it's gonna be there. And I think I'm just starting to learn it's a cultural thing, and the only thing you have to do is reassure that person.
Yeah.
Don't do stupid stuff, and eventually they start seeing it. I don't think it ever goes away.
Yeah, I don't think they make that connection. That's what we were talking about.
Right.
Because a lot of times, you know, I'll tell Merlin, I built the house for you. You got the house, you got it all. Why do I want somebody else?
If you want it, you could do what?
Yeah, I could get it.
Exactly.
You know, but they don't make that connection. It's always somebody else, or you're always looking at somebody else, or whatever like that. It's like, I don't have anything else to give. You know?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just how it is.
Yeah. And I think even some other Filipino women will vouch for that. They know that happens in their culture. So, it's just a part of how it is, and so we just have to adapt to it, I guess.
Yeah.
I just when I tense or sense something or whatever, I just kind of just continue on doing what I'm doing. I know there's nothing going on, so I just.
So how long you been here this time?
3 months.
Yeah, you get ready to head back?
Yeah. Back and forth because I have a whole, I got a house in Vegas. I have a truck like I was explaining to you, a nice truck. I don't even drive it. Got 40,000 miles on it. It's just sitting in the garage. So I go back and forth.
Your family's in the funeral business.
Yes.
The mortuary business, should I say.
Yes.
Now, you part of that?
They wanted me to be, but no, I don't.
Even when you were little, though, you probably in high school.
Yeah.
Did you collect bodies or something?
No, but I would say as far as recently, I've actually worked with them, with my cousin, who is the actual owner. I've worked with him, going to hospitals, assisting with them, picking up bodies and taking care of the decedents, their loved ones, and things like that. So
But not the embalming or anything.
I've seen some embalming, but I've never. You have to be licensed to be an embalmer. But I've seen it.
Even to be around the body?
No. What I'm saying is to actually perform the task of embalming, you have to be licensed to do it. But I've seen it done at my family's business.
Have you ever been single here?
Um,
Since 2016. Well, I know you've been with your wife, but you say you've seen other people. So the point I'm trying to make is, do you have any information you can share to guys as far as, because I always tell guys all the time, it's expensive to have a girlfriend over here.
Oh, if you're single, you're gonna save a lot of money. But if you have a girlfriend, if you have a wife, you're gonna double your cost. It does cost more because both of us have to eat a cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm.
If it was just me, I'd just eat one
Now,
cheeseburger.
does your wife work?
No, that's why she's going to school.
Also, let me ask you, where did you live before you bought this condo? Where did you live? Or you were just staying in hotels and stuff?
Oh yeah, that was the thing. I would go back and forth. I started off in Makati, going to the Gramercy Hotel, you know, taking my luggage from hotel to hotel, and then I started thinking, you know what? I don't want to keep dragging my stuff because you stay here for 3 nights, you stay over here, you got to keep dragging all your stuff, and then sometimes you get into a place, it's expensive. So, but yeah, Makati, you know, that area is like that, mainly down in Manila.
Yeah, so why did you end up in Cebu? Are the people nicer here in Cebu? I think they are, but what about you? Because I've met them in Manila. And
it's just, I ended up here is because this is where my home is now.
Mm-hmm.
So I always heard that if you want to find some nice looking people, Cebu is the place.
Cebu's the place. Yeah.
So I said, you know, Cebu would be a nice place to check out. So ended up in Cebu, ended up finding, you know, being with somebody and hooking, you know, marrying them. So, but that's how.
Now we were talking earlier. I'm seeing more black guys in Cebu. I know if you go up in Manila, Angeles City, and different places, Subic Bay, but now I'm starting to see a whole lot more brothers here in Cebu. That's a good thing. And most of them know me, but I don't know them all.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you've noticed? I know you live out here in
I've noticed
Moncton.
I've noticed the uptick in the demographics, you know, as far as more black Americans or even Africans.
Mm.
You start
I'm just talking about brothers though, because Africans are the original world travelers anyway.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I've noticed a bit more black brothers here coming to actually in Macton and like IT Park area. Yeah, starting to see. I don't know, maybe more people are finding out about, hey, this is a nice place, come check it out. But yeah, I'm starting to see a change, like a shift.
The reason I'm making this, guys, is because I think that's the reason why black men like it in the Philippines. Nobody bothers us over here. They treat us like everybody else. And that's all I've ever wanted, was just to be treated like everybody else. Don't treat me better. Certainly don't treat me worse. Just treat me like everybody else. And I get that here. What made you become a police?
And when I was a kid, I got lost in the park in Los Angeles, and some deputies came to my rescue. Mm-hmm. And they used to have this thing in Los Angeles. For anybody that's from LA, they'll know what I'm talking about. They used to give out these books called Deputy Dan. It was a coloring book. Mm-hmm. So they actually found me, and they treated me well. And it was actually 2 white dudes. I remember them just like I'm talking to you right now. And based on that experience, it had an impact on me from growing up. Then I became a police explorer. Then I got into the explorer department, and then it went from there. And I always wanted to be on the right side of the law. I got robbed in school.
Did you catch any flack from your friends and relatives about becoming a police?
Of course.
Were you a snitch? Here comes the man. What do they call police now?
They call them pigs. I mean, they still call them pigs. They call them one time. You know, they hear somebody say one time. You know.
Why do they call them one time? I never understood that one.
I guess you got. I have no idea. I never asked. I never worried about that kind of stuff. I just did my job, and I did.
Did they act differently around you? Like, you know, because you know you go to barbecues and stuff. I'm pretty sure people want to drink and smoke weed. You know, but you're a police 24 hours a day.
I was labeled as a square, you know, and I had cousins.
But I mean, you didn't bother anybody while they were smoking weed at the house barbecue, did you?
No, I didn't get into. I mean, if I seen something that was.
I mean, at your barbecue. I'm not saying on the street, because you're a police 24 hours a day, right?
I've never had people come in my barbecues that was doing that type of stuff.
Getting drunk and belligerent.
No. I've never had to deal with in my whole career. I've never had to deal, or even off duty. I've never had to deal with nothing like that at all.
This is something I've always heard about police. They have a quota. Do you have so many tickets or arrests you have to make every month? Is that true? Because they said my sergeant on my case I didn't have. Because I had a friend in Cincinnati, Ohio, was a police, and he said his sergeant would always be on his case. He needed to write more tickets.
No, that's a misunderstanding. It's not basically like a quota. But if there's a known area where you see a lot of hit and runs, or people getting hit in a pedestrian area, right? And there's no tickets for speeding, they might say, hey, you guys might want to hang out on 77th Street because we've gotten a lot of uptick of hit accidents.
Yeah.
So they'll put somebody out there, and all of a sudden now you're getting 4 or 5 cops out there writing tickets. So when people say, "Oh, you guys got a quota, you're making your quota," it's not that. It's just they're focusing on an area that has gotten a certain amount of incidents. So that's what happened.
What's the most dangerous situation you found yourself in over your career?
Fighting with a guy that tried to spit in my face, and he was like Hep C, and he didn't comply, and it got kind of violent, and he was a known person with Hep C, and he tried to spit in my face and give it to me, make me contract hepatitis. So there's so many things.
Because I was told that it's really not that hard being a police. They say like 97% of the time you're just sitting around eating donuts, and then the other 3 is action. Is that basically some days you went in, you probably didn't do anything, did you?
Not true.
It's action all the time.
It's always something going on. That's not true. Eating donuts. I think I seen a video with Ice-T. He said, some guy said, "Hey man, you're supposed to stop that guy. He's burning rubber." And he said, "Hey," the cop said, "Hey, that's not my job." He said, "Well, what is your job?" The cop said, "My job is to sit here and eat donuts." So no, that is not true. That is not true.
So are you proud though of your police service?
I am, and I will say it proudly. I served very well. I'm proud of the work that I did. I helped keep the community safe, and I wouldn't take anything back. So
now let me ask you. Let's get back on the Philippines thing, because thank you, man, really for your service to the community, because it takes a certain type of
and
individual.
The military also.
Okay, I don't think I have the heart to be a police. I don't dislike police.
Mm-hmm.
When I grew up in my neighborhood, we had foot patrol police.
Okay.
That was way back then.
Mm-hmm.
They were always white and they were always good. You needed them.
Okay.
I don't have anything against the police, even though I had my incident. Everybody knows about that. But do you and your wife plan on spending more time here or more time in America? Because, you haven't been through it yet. I've taken my wife to America. She's there now. She's going to like it. Mm-hmm. She may not want to come back here 6 months, and then by her working, she's not going to be able to get that time off. That's what Roussel was talking about, Boudreaux, when he was saying, well, I'm not going to let my wife work when she gets to America, because I want to travel when I retire. And if she's working, I can't travel.
Okay.
What's your plan on that?
Well, we had that discussion. And that discussion was, once you get over there, you get a job, go into the nursing field. Because something I didn't tell you, I have 2 daughters that are nurses. Mm-hmm. One is a nurse practitioner.
Yeah, you told me that.
And the other one is an LVN.
Yeah.
So you got all these people that are nurses. That's another business thing that you can go into.
What I'm saying, so you're going to probably spend more time in America then. Because she wouldn't want to come back here and be a nurse after earning all that money.
No.
What does an RN start out in America?
Oh, an RN you can make is up to $54 an hour.
Yeah, because your daughter's damn near like a doctor. Cause
right.
LPN, she can, well, not LPN, you said a practitioner.
Nurse
she can write prescriptions.
Yes.
So I know she's earning big money, right?
Yes. Oh yeah. She's making good money. and the other one's an LVN. So, and she's trying to get her RN.
Yeah.
So she's gonna help my wife.
So you're probably gonna be coming over here by yourself. Is she gonna let that happen? Yeah, because she gonna be making the money. You know, a lot of guys. I got a guy, Frank G. Shout out to Frank G. His beautiful wife, Jonah, she's retired. And I think when she retired, that's when they moved here.
It's all about trust. Will she let me come? She knows, and I'm gonna look in the camera because I know you're gonna watch this. She knows our plan.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about trust and commitment. And if you follow that, things, because I have a high power that I believe in. That's just my personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do right, things tend to follow you the right way.
Yeah.
So
what makes you think this marriage is going to work? Let's talk about that, because you've been married before. What's different about you now? Was you older and wiser, or what? What is it now? Is it the woman? Or?
Okay, I'll tell you the truth. What's different about this is me. I'm the difference, because in my other relationships, I wasn't right, and I will admit that I wasn't right.
So what advice or suggestions, right? Because men, we don't like to take advice from other men. Would you give somebody who's thinking about coming out here?
The advice that I recommend, if you're coming out here to try to find somebody.
Well, we're not even talking about even a woman. We're just talking about if you're trying to come over here and live or go on vacation. What is it? What advice you want to give them? Because they're gonna
Take
go
your
with the
time.
women.
Take your time. Go check out various areas, right? Check out Cebu. Check out all the areas of the Philippines, whatever they can offer. Spend a few days in each place. Get to learn some of the language also. Try to pick up some of the words, because that goes a long ways with the Filipino people here. Even if it's just a few words. And just settle in and just take it in. And things will come your way. And don't talk to the
Would
first
you
person.
suggest a guy get right off the plane, move into the province? Is that something smart to do?
No. You're not. I don't think that they'll get the full effect of it if they just move directly to the province.
It's going to be a culture shock.
It's going to be
They wouldn't
big
last.
shock. No, they won't.
There's
they wouldn't.
levels to the Philippines.
Right.
Also, Filipinos can speak English, but they don't speak English. Most of the time, they speak their language. You're in the Philippines, so get used to that.
Right.
Do you hang around any other expats?
I don't, because there's none that comes around and say anything.
But
There's
you go,
a few
you
here.
go to like, you see people like at restaurants and stuff.
Right.
Do you go to bars over here?
No, I don't go. I mean, there's like I was telling you about cappuccino, but I don't go alone.
Do you drink?
You know.
Yeah, I'm just asking you for the camera.
Yeah.
Do you drink?
Yeah, I was in the military 18 years.
Yeah.
You know, I can drink. I just calm down, because I used to be really bad.
But have you gotten drunk? Would you suggest anybody get drunk in a club over here?
No, not especially if you're by yourself. No way. No, I don't suggest anybody to get sloppy drunk where they're falling over and doing all this kind of crazy stuff. You know, a couple drinks, you know, get a little tipsy. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But getting sloppy drunk, you know, like somebody we seen.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you think that we should be ambassadors, or like we don't? You know, I have no, commitment to America. I can be whoever I want to be. I can come over here and act any way I want. Or should we conduct ourselves in a certain manner? Should we show the best side of America and the best side of ourselves when we're over here?
Of course, you can't go. It's not recommended to go into any foreign country and act a fool, because that is going to give not only yourself, but it's going to give that country a bad rap, and people are going to look at you in a certain way, and it's just going to mess up everything for everybody. You know, it messes things up for everybody. So they there goes the stupid Americans, acting crazy. Like some of the guys is doing this
Right.
crazy stuff. We don't
Absolutely.
need you don't need that.
Let
So,
me ask you this, as a black man over here, because you've heard all the stories. The stupidest question I've ever been asked: the Filipinos like black men.
Oh,
I'm asking you. I'm gonna be stupid today.
more than you think. Yes, they do. And I think that comes from people trying to throw that out there to put doubt in people's heads. But there's no problem for me. If I was a single person, I can just sit down at the table and it'd be no problem. And there's a lot of Filipino women that they rather black. That you go figure out why.
Well, everybody's got preferences.
Yeah.
I don't hold that against them, but it's a question that I wish people would stop asking me. I know we want to be assured and reassured and all that, but obviously I'm black, you're black. I've never had a problem with women, and neither will they. Okay, it's enough women over here for everybody, basically, whatever race, creed, color, style, financial situation, whatever it is. Remember the 18 to 80 blind cripple are crazy. You're gonna find somebody, but I want to thank you, man, for sharing all of this with us.
Of course.
This is a beautiful place, by the way. This Mactan New Town. What's this called back here? The beach.
This is just Mactan Beach. They
Mactan
call this whole area because right there on the sign, once you
Mhm.
come in, it says Mactan Beach. That's all they call it.
I mean, it's beautiful. I want to be your guest with my family tomorrow because they want to go to the beach.
Yeah, they will enjoy both places.
The swimming pool is
Swimming
nice.
pool,
This is
everything.
like a resort back here.
Yeah, it's like Fantasy Island.
I mean, it really is nice.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, look at these pillows, and this
Yeah.
is real plush,
And
man.
it closes at what time?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. The
The
swimming
bar
pool is
closes
open.
at 9, I think.
Bar
right?
closes at 9, and so the pool closes at 10. The beach closes at 6.
Now, if you're a non-guest, I believe she says 1,088 pesos, but that includes a certain amount for your food.
For your food. And if you are a guest, the owner can get up to 6 tickets. 6 people. They call it packs.
Yeah, so you and your wife and then 4 other guests.
4 other guests.
free.
Yeah, for free.
So
Yeah.
hopefully, we can do that tomorrow,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. They'll get you a band. You'll get a little band like this.
Yeah, I got one tonight,
And
just
then,
to tour around.
and then they'll let you in. So
But the beach closes at what? 6?
the beach part closes at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess it gets dark, and they have a lifeguard on duty, but there's a little area that's cut out where they don't want you to go too far out on the beach.
Do you know any Basia? How much Basia you know?
Mayan Buntak.
That's it.
And I know some stuff.
What
she's
about
teaching
good
me.
evening?
Good evening is Mayan. I think Gabi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just testing you to see it.
She-
What about good afternoon?
Good afternoon. I want to say
Hmm.
halal or
Mayan hapon.
hapon. Yeah.
Udo.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like good noon. Then Mayan hapon is good afternoon.
Yeah.
And then Mayan gabi.
Yeah. But you know where my wife is from?
Mhm.
She's a logo.
Yeah, Ilongo, yeah.
They speak a whole
Whole
different
different
thing.
language.
Yeah.
Well, hell, they speak the same language as in Bacala.
yeah.
Bacala is only an hour and 20 minutes by bus or car. I mean, really by car or taxi.
Mhm.
From St. Carl City, and they speak a whole different
Yeah.
language.
Like-
Everything's different,
Like
yeah.
Magandang Umanga. That's in
Mhm.
Manila. I think that's in like
Magandang umaga, yeah, that's
Umaga.
good morning,
Good
yeah.
morning.
hmm But okay, man, thank y'all so much for stopping by. You help people over here, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I seen it on your channel.
yeah, we when I can. I can't help everybody, but I do. When I have something, we go out there, we give kilos of rice away, we mix it up, we make a little bag for them and just
Mhm.
pass it out. Meet with some of the people, not like a charity, but just from me. And I've gotten nothing from anybody. It's all came from out of my. I think I got it from
Yeah.
2 people, and some people I know from the U.S.
Right.
And we did a little thing out there. But yeah, if I can, I do. Not
Because
like you,
if
man.
I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe. They out of trouble. I'll see you next time. Don't do anything stupid. Now what I'm gonna do, man, that's a long
That shit